Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope all is well. Hope you celebrated with your family and friends and that Santa brought you everything you wanted. For me, he brought the end of week one. I actually had a rest day yesterday, which has allowed me to recover and recuperate from week one of Ironman training, which wasn't too bad considering that I've got a pretty decent base built up from marathon training for the last 2 months. So I think I'm in a pretty good position. The reason why I'm doing a video blog is because last week Mandy from carrotunkgirl.com had actually done one of Porter and herself out down by the river, and I had emailed her and told her that I think we should all do more video blogs because it allows us to put a face with the voice and get a little bit closer to each other. So what I'm going to try to do is do a video after each week is over for Ironman training from now through Ironman Texas in May. So hopefully this goes over well, and if not, well, we can always just stop it, right? Not a big deal. Anyway, week one is in the books, and there were about 11 and a half hours of training last week. Broken up obviously into swim, bike, and run, and a little bit of strength in there as well. I did skip one strength training session because I was running out of time and had to get my stepson over to school, but I made up for it by doing core work at the house 2 more times in addition to that. So, focusing on my core, getting that area strengthened, my girdle, so to speak, to allow me to stabilize the muscles in my body is one of the things I really want to focus on for Ironman Texas, making sure I'm in the best shape possible. So, week one numbers, what did they look like? So for me, the run was just about 26 and a half miles or 3.7 hours worth of running. The bike was 5.5 hours and a little under 107 miles, and the swim was 5,500 yards or a little over 3 miles in nearly 2 hours. So that's how my week broke out, and I'm really excited about it and really excited to get going on week number 2 here, which looks like a doozy for what you would think would be week number 2. I know I saw 5 by 1 mile repeats in there this week. I know I've got an hour of running going on. Today I've got about 2,600 yards of swimming and a little spin on the bike, which is really purely a recovery ride for me, and I'm going to get a little bit into my trainer ride and what I plan on doing. So back to week 1. Let me break this down for you. I had written a post a couple of weeks ago focusing on form, and that's what I plan to do. And with that, I had been using Mr. Smooth in the pool. It was alerted to that by a couple of different people, and I got to say it's been terrific. It's knocked off at least 3 seconds per 100 yards from my time already, and it's just so simple. My suggestion is you go over there and check it out, mrsmooth.com. The other thing that I wrote about last week was the Sufferfest video series and how much I really do enjoy it. It was on Saturday that I headed off into the humidor, my garage, fully loaded with extra shirts and sweatshirts to get my body prepared to sweat and how much fluid I need to take in, because as we all know, in the woodlands in May, it's going to be at least humid and more than likely going to be hot. This past year as a volunteer down there, it was crazy hot, and as Jeff Irvin of danglethatcarrot.blogspot.com reminded me that unless the gods are nice to give us some cool weather that day, it's going to be really, really hot. So be prepared to take in fluids and be prepared to walk during the marathon, and Jeff's provided me some great advice over the past year, and I really plan on heeding that advice this year as my Ironman training continues on. But back to the Sufferfest, I did the Fight Club on Saturday, and there were a minimum of 4 curse words at the video screen, which isn't too bad considering that when I did the Very Dark Place right afterwards, there were at least 7 curse words. David at thesufferfest.com was called a few names, and a few other choice words to say the least, but it really is a great video series. My suggestion is you go out there and get it, like I wrote in my blog piece reviewing A Very Dark Place and Downward Spiral. Both are very good videos. Shannon's review of, and that would be Shannon of IronTexasMommy.blogspot.com. Her review of the Fight Club was spot on, and it's a great video, and it really does make you work, and you find out quickly how much you can suffer and push yourself past that suffering. I'm going to be experimenting potentially today with what we're calling, and by we, I'm talking about Greg Larson of thelifeitry.com, who's a training partner of mine here in the Dallas area, and just a great friend. I had told him that I had read an article about a year ago about training in humidity and training and preparing for the humidity, and I've got a 70.3 coming up in Puerto Rico, which has the potential to be very humid in March, and then of course Ironman Texas in May. And what I had read was that whomever the professional was, I think it was Janos, would soak towels in water and then throw them in the dryer and ride his trainer in there, or run on his treadmill in there. Excuse me. Well, my plan and my thought is stick the trainer in the laundry room and ride and sweat and gauge the amount of fluids that I would need to take in, so that when the time rolls around in May and I'm on that bike, I know exactly what I need to do. I plan, I prepared, and you have to adjust on the fly, of course, because that's what an Ironman is all about. But simultaneously, the more surprises I can remove from the equation, the better off I'm going to be. So that's my goal, is to potentially have 1 or 2 a month of trainer rides in the laundry room, creating some humidity and some moisture in there, and just gauging sweat levels and how much fluid I really need to take in. And then lastly, as most of you have read or may know from Twitter, I had an MRI last week and got my results in, and went to the podiatrist, and he told me that I have a small tear in the ligament that crosses over the top of my left foot. What he cannot tell me is how long it's been there. It may be something that I've had for a long time and just aggravated running in the Brooks T7 racing flats. And it wasn't the shoes that caused the issue, but the distance that caused the issue, and the fact that I was a heel striker. So landing on my heel in a shoe that's got little to no cushion most likely aggravated the problem. But since I went to the doctor to get tested and have the MRIs done, I've been really focusing on running midfoot, and it's been great. No pains, no issues. The one area the one time that does cause a little bit of pain is when I run downhill, and I tend to heel strike more often there. I can feel it, but once I get off that hill and I start running flat or running uphill, then the pain goes away as I'm back more to a midfoot strike. So really the conclusion to the MRI is that I need to run in a bigger shoe with more cushion. And if I want to race anything from a half marathon on down to a 5K, that I can do it in the flats. Anything above that, I really should be focusing on wearing the bigger shoe. Right now I'm wearing the Adidas Adazeros. And I'd like to change over to Brooks, because I think their shoes are just incredible, and really want to give their shoes a try. So if you've got any recommendations of a shoe that's comparable to the Adidas Adazero, since I do very well in them, I would love to hear it. When I was in Vegas with a marathon, I won a free pair of shoes, so no reason to worry about that cost-wise, and just getting a free pair of Brooks to test out would be great. So send your recommendations over. Then what we're looking at is week 2 is coming up. It'll take us through the new year, and I'm really excited to get going on the week, as I gave you some information about what the week is looking to shape up like, and I'm really excited about this whole process. I've been reading Iron War by Matt Fitzgerald, which discusses the Mark Allen, Dave Scott race in 1989, and it's just incredible. And it's really more than just the Allen Scott race. It goes into the mindset of triathletes and endurance athletes, and why they're willing to suffer and put their bodies through what they're willing to put their bodies through, and how the mind really controls pretty much everything when it comes to being able to tolerate the pain, and there's some scientific evidence to showcase that, and I'll be doing a book review here real soon, because I'm almost done with the book, and it really is a good book, whether you like Matt Fitzgerald or don't like Matt Fitzgerald, or believe or don't believe any of the things that are being said in terms of the lawsuit that was filed against them. Really go out and get the book, and just wipe your mind clean of all the things of whether or not Matt made up some stuff or not. Regardless, it's a good book, and it really has helped me to center my mind and focus my mind on racing and training for this Ironman. Lastly, I want to give another big shout out to Casey for her being my secret honey badger, secret Santa this year. Really, really appreciate the gift. I look at it every day. I've taken the sticker that you gave me a year ago and put that in a Ziploc bag with my goal time for Puerto Rico, and where I think I can be with Ironman Texas. And I'm sure I'll be crossing that out and rewriting that another 21 times between now and that date in May, because that's how many weeks I have to go there. But thank you very much. It is definitely allowing me to focus my mind on the bigger goals at hand in terms of the race. And I'm looking forward to it. So that's it for Ironman Training Week 1. Thank you for watching, and thank you for reading my blog. Really appreciate it. We're coming up on celebrating a year of the cooktraineatrace.com website, and it's really exciting to have been able to follow all of your journeys and learn from all of you out there on what you did for your Ironman training, and being able to put that into a plan of action for myself for my first Ironman. So again, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for being a part of my life. Appreciate it. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, and looking forward to a wonderful, happy, and safe New Year. Thank you, and have a great day.